What is happening, guys? I hope you guys are enjoying Wulong as much as I have been. It has been a pretty great ride so far. I'm about a little over, I'd say, I wouldn't say halfway, but maybe halfway through the Let's Play, and I'm having a fantastic time. It's been a great game so far. But with that said, even though it has been a great game, if you've been watching my Let's Play, you know I have come into quite some struggles along the way. It's been a learning curve, especially if you're coming from, you know, Elden Ring or other Souls games. This game is different in a lot of ways. So I wanted to come on here today and talk about a few things that I wish I would have knew when I started the game that would have made my life a whole lot easier and a lot less rage quits. And for the sake of spoilers, you don't have to worry about any spoilers here. We are going to only revisit areas that you've all seen in the demo, or this area right here, which is like the central hub area, which you will get about a quarter through the game. You will have this place unlocked, so there will be no spoilers in this at all. Now, the very first thing I want to cover is a cut thing that a lot of new players might be having this problem with, is where the heck is the blacksmith before you get to this area? If you were like me and you followed my Let's Play, you've noticed how I got extremely upset when I got to a boss and I was trying to find the blacksmith, trying to walk around, trying to figure out where the heck she was. I looked at her at the first place I saw her, the second place, and she was not there. Until you get this place unlocked, she will be at the last place, the very last mission that you've done. So basically, if you go to your travel thing and you are on your part 2 grinding away, if you are trying to find her, if you're like me and you're trying to find her for this boss at here, she's going to be at the very beginning of this level. So for me, what I was doing is I was like, okay, I need to find the blacksmith. So I went back to the last place I saw her, which was the desert. I thought she was there. And then I went to the next place I saw her. She wasn't there either. It wasn't until I went back to the place I was stuck on and then went all the way back to the beginning of the map that I found her. So until you actually unlock the central hub, she is at the very beginning of the last mission you began. The next thing I wish I would have knew how it worked when I started playing this game was elements. Now, this game has a few different elements. If you're familiar with Pokemon or or even just Chinese history, you know, elements, there is wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. Now, what I did not know is you can basically set yourself up against different bosses with different builds, especially once you unlock respec. But even without respec, though, you can still go into a boss and have a better attempt at that boss if you're going against with an element that is good against it. So for instance, you wouldn't go against a water boss with fire. That's just not advisable. Now, the problem is how you know what is good. So what I found out is if you pause the game and go to this thing called documents, this is a very, very cool section that I think not a lot of people have seen. Click on documents. If you click on effect icons and you click RB, this is awesome. The effect icons, you can read through these and see what is good against what. Basically, you read the opposite backwards from how it's worded on the cured thing. So it can be cured with metal phase positive effect. Basically, it's saying that metal is good against wood. You know, the shock thing is in the wood tree. So basically, metal is good against wood. Same with burn, like water is good against fire. Wood is good against, wood is good against earth. You know, think about it as trees thrive on earth. Fire is, you know, good against poison. Would be good against poisonous under the steel category. How you tell what category that's in is just, you can look at the spells. That's just, you'll learn over time. And then you have, you know, your earth is good against water. That's something I did not think about. On like Pokemon, think about Pokemon, you know, water is good against earth. On this game is opposite. Earth is good against water. So if you're struggling with any type of water creature, use some earth spells and you'll just demolish the crap out of them. And yeah, so this is very, very beneficial if you ever forget what element is good against what. Very, very beneficial to check that out. The next thing I want to cover quickly is if you lose your ally, how do you get them back? So sometimes I ran into this in my Let's Play. If you rest and they don't come back, here's all you have to do. Real easy. Click on reinforcements and you'll see how it takes no tiger seal. All you do is have to click click A on that, and it will recruit her back, and it will not use a tiger seal. It's something that I could not figure out for the life of me how to get her back. I was trying to summon other people and I was wasting tiger seals. Just click on the 0 one, the one that says 0, because that's the one you already automatically have for the level, and she'll come back, or whoever that is. It could be Zhang Fei. Just basically, if you lose your ally, just come back. It will be the one marked with 0 under tiger seal. You just click on that, and that will bring them right back into the battle, so you have them as your ally again. So let's talk about combat. Some things I wish I would have knew when I started playing. So I came from Sekiro, a Sekiro background kind of. So I was used to being able to block with LB. And I was so mad in this game when I could not just tap that to parry in this game, because if you do that, you're not going to parry. You need to actually hit B. And that is, it's just odd. It's awkward and odd. And for the longest time I was getting hit every time I was trying to do it because it wasn't dodging, and I just found it just really stupid until I got used to it. Until I found out you could hold down LB and then tap B to basically deflect. So basically if instead of getting hit, so watch this. If I hold down this, I'm not going to get hit. I'm not going to take any damage. I'm going to take spirit damage, so I'm going to get... So basically, I'm going to get, if I miss the deflect, but yeah, I can tap that and then counter off with another attack. So basically, by using this, it's a less chance you'll take damage because you'll be able to tap B and basically block. It's just something, a quality of life thing, makes bosses so much more easy to deflect, because deflecting is everything about this game. So hopefully that helps a lot of people. I know that when I first figured that out, that was a game changer completely. And on the note of deflects, you can also deflect going side or forward or backward, depending on where you want to go. So for instance, if I want to deflect to the side and get around them, I can do that. I can also deflect backwards too, as I'll show you with this guy. And I can just come back right in front of them. So basically, the way you tilt your stick is the way you'll deflect. So it's not really a parry in this game. It's basically a deflect. A lot of people keep saying parry. It's basically a deflect, but you can change the direction to suit whatever way you need to in battle, which is really, really a nice feature. So the next thing I want to talk about is red deflects, the special attacks. So these took me for the longest time how to time these. So it's not the timing. So when I first started doing this, I would time it with when they turned red, I would dodge, and I would dodge right into their attack, just like that. So if you want to do is you want to parry it as the attack comes. So don't pay attention to the red. Pay attention to the attack, just like the standard attack. And my advice too, if you're struggling, go to one of these first levels and really practice, because this is literally how the game is played. When you need to learn how to do this, because every boss will have a point where they give you this advantage and you can get a critical on them, and it will take out a ton of their health. So you need to get that right. Also, it does help too, I've noticed, to double tap it as it comes in. I feel it has a better chance of hitting it. I don't know. Maybe it's placebo, but I feel like I have a better attack with that. Also, on a note of this, after the follow-up, the best follow-up to do, I see some people online doing X, quick attacks. The best follow-up to do is Y. You'll go in right for a critical, and that's very important to know for boss fights. The next thing I want to talk about is sneak up on enemies that are hard to sneak up on. So you can either go slowly up like this, but in later game stages, you have to move faster sometimes because there'll be another enemy coming and you have to time it right. So what I found is if you walk forward while tapping like this, their bar will not build up. So I'll show you on this lion how this works. See if I can do it right. So you lock on just like normal, and then you start to move forward and tap this, and then critical attack it, and then follow up with your regulars. So basically, later stages, there'll be times where you'll face 2 of these tigers at one time, or even 3 in one place. and you can knock out one of them right off the bat by getting a backstab on it. By if you use a spell amplify your attack, the one on Y I have, it's in the fire tree. You get it. You can get it really early on. It'll raise your attack. If you pop that right before you do it, you can usually sometimes one-shot these if your morale is high enough. So there's something to keep in mind. That will be a game changer for you later on, being able to tap and walk. I am not the one that created that. That is Fighting Cowboy. He is the one that came up with this. Also, speaking of Fighting Cowboy, go watch his guides. He has way better guides than I do. Yeah, just this is credit to him. This is a game changer though in later stages. This will make your life so much easier than having to walk up slowly back. If you tap it, you can sneak up right behind any enemy, and they will not detect you. It's pretty awesome. It works a lot of the times too. One more thing I want to talk about for combat here that I wish I would have knew when I first started playing is how to quickly switch weapons in combat. So when I was first doing the Let's Play, you'll notice I was switching back and forth by having to hold down R2 and basically switch manually. I found out though, basically you can go into battle, and if you hold down the right bumper and tap circle, you can switch on the fly. So I can switch back and forth from my heavy weapon to my light, which is awesome. If you time this right, you can just decimate shit. Keyword is if you time this right. But it also uses spirit though to do that though. So just know that if you're negative in spirit, you're going to get staggered if you miss your attack. But it's pretty nice when you can literally go back and forth from the heavy weapon to a light weapon. That was a game changer when I found out I could easily switch back and forth by tapping RB or holding RB and tapping B just during battle. I can switch back and forth. So it's also a very neat flow too. It flows really well in combat. Another thing I want to talk about real quick is equipment load. So I, in my Let's Play, could not figure out for the longest time how to have heavier equipment. That comes from the Earth stat. If you level up Earth, you will be able to have more heavier equipment. Also, on this note of heavy equipment, how do you know when you're overweight? Basically, that number that you see at the equipment weight, when it's green, you're good. If that goes up to yellow, then you're going to notice you're going to move slower when you're in your rolls, or you're not going to have as fast as dodges. You're going to get hit more often, you're going to notice. And if it goes past the yellow, then you're not even going to be able to deflect. So some people I see are having problems with not being able to deflect. All you have to do is drop some equipment and you'll be able to deflect again. It's that simple. But for the longest time, I could not figure out how to wear heavier armor. All you do is just level up Earth. Level up Earth and you can wear heavier armor. And then you can keep it in the green. No problem. And now I want to cover real quick the morale system and the fortitude system. So basically, in each level is basically you start at 0. Doesn't matter what level you are in the game. Each level you basically start at 0 because your morale is what really matters for your attack. The morale is that little number above the green bar. So for instance, I have 2 as my morale. Morale will allow you to use better spells. It will allow you to hit harder, and it will allow you to have better defense. You won't die as much. So when you have a morale of say 25, you can blow through a level. You're basically a king in that level, then just demolishing everything. And if you're ever stuck on a boss, just farm up the morale in that level and go fight the boss at 25. It'll be a lot easier. Trust me. I found that out in episode I think it was episode 12 of my Let's Play. It changed the game completely for me because I was raging, man. I was like, I don't know why I'm like level 30 something and I'm dying to this boss so quickly. I was getting one shot and I could not figure it out. Farm up the morale, make your morale higher before taking on a boss. How you do that is kill enemies. Go through the boss, go through the level, kill enemies, and your morale will get higher. This is different than Souls. Souls, you can just run right to the boss room. I found out in my Let's Play you cannot do that. If you run right to the boss room in each level, you are going to die instantly. If you go into a boss room, their morale is, chances are it's going to be 15 to 18. And if you go in with a morale of 0, you're going to die right away. You're going to get one-shotted, and you're going to be wondering why. So that's a very big tip that I found out. Now, with that though, there's what happens when you die. because, okay, so when you die, your morale will drop, and it will drop by points. Now, there's Fortitude flags in the map. So in the upper right-hand corner, you see that 2 out of 7. The 2 out of 7 is basically my rest flags, these ones, the middle. So these ones are the ones you can rest at. And then the 0 out of 5 are Fortitude flags. So basically, when you find those other little mini white flags that you can't rest at, that are just for us Souls players are like, what the heck is this? That is a very good thing to find, because you find those Fortitude flags. If you die, if you die in that level or in that boss fight or whatnot, your Fortitude cannot drop below the Fortitude rank that you are currently on. So basically, the best way to do each level before fighting a boss is just like that. Fight through the level. Basically, knock out every enemy, use the thing up at the top to see how many Fortitude flags are left, and search up all the Fortitude flags before taking on the boss. If you do that, you will have a much, much better time taking on the boss. You will rage quit a lot less often. Okay, let's cover real quick weapons, because weapons upgrades are interesting. Basically, here's something I wish I would have known. I wish I would have known not to level up low-ranked weapons before I found better ranked ones. And I was running into the longest time, I could not find good ranked dual halberds. I need these for the build that I have, the fire build that I have, and I could not find level 3s, so I, for the longest time in the Let's Play, just used level 1s and I kept leveling up. I wasted lots of materials. Once you beat the 5th mission in the game, you unlock this right here, the respec guy. This guy is awesome. This will be your best friend in the game. You can go to Accolade Reward. Basically, going through missions gives you reward points. As you see in the top right-hand corner, I have 2,239. If you go over in here to gold box, or to the gold section, you can go through and select whichever one you want, and if you see on the right, randomly obtain a 3 or 4 dual halberd. So basically, once you beat the 5th mission in the game, you go, if you want a certain weapon and you want it to be 3 or 4, use the reward points that you have, come in here and test your luck with the RNG. It's going to be either a 3 or 4 though, so the lowest you can get is a 3. So that's even a 3 is better than a 1. So I would say save up most of your weapon, save up most of your upgrade materials, level up your morale instead of your weapon, because morale will do a lot more damage than leveling up your weapon. You'll save materials. I would have so much more materials saved up if I didn't waste it on level 1 weapons before I knew I could unlock this guy, which has just, you can select any weapon. Every weapon in here you can select and get a better option of it, a better rank. And on the note of that, why do we want better ranked weapons? Because if we look at our weapons, if we look right over to the, I don't think I can even click over there, but if you look at it, you look down where it says like special effect, and that will give you different bonuses. So basically, you could have the same weapon, but with less bonuses. Like for instance, this has Boulder Glide and Mountain Strike. This one only has Boulder Glide. This one also does Spirit Gain from normal attacks, plus 2.3%. This one does not. So it's beneficial to use more ranked, better weapons. So save your upgrade materials for at least 3, preferably 4 if you can get a hold of them. 4 is very hard. That's why it's the hardest rank, or one of the hardest ranks so far that I've come across. I don't even know if there's rank 5. I'm not even that far in the Let's Play yet. There might be rank 5 weapons in this game. I'm not sure. But yeah, save up your upgrade materials and use your luck to use the RNG roll in there for the 3 or 4. That will make your life a lot more easier when it comes to saving upgrade materials. I wish I would have done that. So there we go, guys. I hope this video saves some people from rage quitting this game, because this is a beautiful game. I mean, it really is an amazing game if you're a Souls fan, if you're a fan of just a good challenge, a fan of good characters and good customization, and a pretty good story so far too. This is a game worthy of playing, and being pissed off at how the mechanics work, it's best to just, adapt and figure out how the mechanics work instead of being mad at the game and saying, oh, it's not a Souls game, it doesn't perform like a Souls game, and therefore it's a bad game. That's not true. You just have to adapt your thinking, and once you adapt your thinking, you'll be amazed with how much more fun the game becomes. So, hope this cleared up a lot of things that some people have been having problems with, including myself, and if you guys got anything from this, I appreciate any likes you give this video. Also subscribe for Let's Plays and streams and all kinds of gaming content. And thank you guys for all your support. We will see you guys next time. And as always, stay strong.